everyone. Welcome back to ErikaBuilds and another Sims 4 speed build. Today I have a large family style beach house for you guys. It's one of the builds I mentioned in my last video that I've been working on in Sulani, and I have to say I've been working on this house for a long time. I actually first started building it right when I got back from Japan, so just a couple of days after the pack was released, and I had no reference photos, really nothing in mind other than I just wanted it to be a big house for a big family. And that was really about the only thing I had in mind. So it started out as an idea that I would maybe do a modern house. But as I was looking at the surrounding landscape and all the bright colors and I don't know, just kind of the vibe of Sulani itself, I just started thinking, okay, does this modern house just look really out of place? Does it not really fit the landscape? I don't know. So you can see here I was using some fencing from Spa Day and a lot of big windows, and it was sort of starting out modern. Then when I got to the roofing, I thought I still wanted to do, like the thatched style roofing that we got with the pack. But then I was like, how's that going to work with a modern house? It doesn't really make any sense. And so this build sort of took on a life of its own and morphed as I was going along. And even now, as I'm looking at this old footage, because this was actually from like June, I don't know what I was really thinking, but by the end, hopefully you think it turned out okay. Like I said, it's a huge house and it's got plenty of room for lots of Sims, lots of kids. And I wanted it to have sort of a vacation home type of feel, but although it is a permanent residence, because we don't have rental property in Sulani, but I wanted it to still kind of have that vibe. So maybe this would be a house that you would have a Sims family that would live here for a time, but then maybe they would move. They wouldn't live here like forever. Because I don't know. I mean, we haven't really had the pack that long, but as of right now, I haven't moved any of like my main big families to Sulani. I've mostly been either making new families or just using like some of the ones that we got from Maxis. Because I haven't really made the commitment to really live in Sulani full time. But I do like the fact that these are not vacation lots, because with Granite Falls and Salvadorado, I don't really go there very often. So I am glad that these are permanent, but I still just haven't really wrapped my brain around what exactly I'm gonna do with this world. So anyway, like I said, the house just sort of morphed into many different things over time. And in fact, this first segment that you're seeing now is from June. And then I actually stopped building this house because I kind of just rage quit. I was just really didn't know what to do. And I was getting really upset because I just didn't like how it was turning out. I don't know, it was just not going well. So I actually just completely stopped building this and just let it sit for a while. And I went and built that rustic house, the one that was in my last video. So I went and built that one and sort of got my groove back a little bit because I was gone for so long and I hadn't been building, that I feel like building is one of those things where if you're on vacation or you're gone for a while from the game, it's kind of hard to come back in it full steam. It's not that you really forget how to build, but you just kind of lose your mojo a little bit, I guess. So it was good that I kind of just put this house on the back burner. I came really close to tearing it down a few times because I just didn't know what to do with it. And it was so gigantic. I mean, as you're seeing now, you can see from the inside, the house is huge And when you have just like a gigantic, huge house with a lot of big open spaces, it's really hard to decide what you're going to do with all this space. So as I decided, to not go with the contemporary look, and I went back to more of this traditional, I guess for lack of a better word, you would call it like a hut style, where it's wooden sides with like the thatched roof. I kind of went back more to that sort of vibe, but yet I still kept it a little modern, because the last two Sulani builds that I had done, that I was actually building at the same time that I was doing this one, they were a lot easier because I just went straight up, just traditional, tropical, using all the stuff that we got in the pack and just, kind of following what made sense. Whereas with this house, it didn't make any sense. I still am not sure if I even like this house. I've worked on it for so long. I think I have a love-hate relationship with it. But anyway, you can see I'm trying to start floor planning, and I knew it was going to have a lot of bedrooms, so it ended up having 5. There are 4 kids' bedrooms on the second floor, and then the parents' bedroom is on the 3rd floor. And actually, there would be room for even more bedrooms. This house is really huge. So even in the kids' rooms, like if you wanted to put a double bed in any of those rooms, there's plenty of space. You could really easily move 8 Sims in here without any trouble. So, so big house. So the color scheme, this was another thing that was kind of difficult, because a lot of the smaller Sulani builds, I think it's easy to incorporate a lot of bright colors, like with the oranges and the yellows and the reds, and just get really fun and playful with it. But when you have a really gigantic house like this, I think it's harder, because I didn't want it to look like a circus. I didn't want it to be too overly colorful. So I kind of wanted to keep it neutral. In fact, the interior of this whole entire first level is very neutral. Lots of browns, creams, white, and natural woods. And originally I was going to keep the whole exterior very neutral as well, but then I ended up adding some splashes of color later. More on that later. So for the interior, I'm trying to use as much of the island living stuff as we have. For the most part, we have a good amount of things for each room. Like we got a pretty good amount of kitchen and dining stuff and a pretty good amount of living room stuff. For the appliances, I used Jungle Adventure, which I think goes really nicely. I use actually quite a bit of Jungle Adventure in this house because I feel like it's very tropical as well. So it goes really well with this island living stuff. So I used quite a bit of that, and then I filled in with a few other, base game items and stuff, but mostly probably those 2 packs are the kind of the most predominantly used. And then I used some Laundry Day stuff, which has some nice natural wood tones that I think matches the woods in this island living stuff really nicely. So I'm keeping things very light and bright and open down here. Now this is a low ceiling height, so I wasn't able to use some of the light fixtures that we got in the pack that are made for like the taller ceilings, but I did use this little 3-drop overhead light in several places. And both of those dining sets, the one that I used in the dining room and the one that I used in the kitchen, those are both from Island Living as well. It's Island Living, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Island Adventure. I think I might have said that in my first video too. I don't know. I get confused about all these names. But anyway, I think it's Island Living. And so right off of the kitchen here is the laundry room, and there's a half bath, or no, it's a full bath. Kind of what I envisioned here is right off the kitchen is sort of this little pass-through area that goes to the outside. So I kind of made it almost like almost like a pool house sort of vibe. It has robes and towels and those baskets from Seasons that have like blankets and stuff rolled up in them. And I imagine that as the family is coming in and out from like swimming and boating and whatever, that they would come through that area. And then the laundry room is right off that area as well, which made logical sense to me, that as they're coming in and out with sand all over their clothes or whatever, that the laundry room would be right there by the door. So that's kind of what my thought process was for that. And in here, of course, lots of laundry day. I stuck with mostly white and neutral tones. Laundry day is sort of country, but also I think just with the color of the wood, it does match this pretty nicely as well. Then I ended up having so much space left over in the kitchen that I made this island. We did not get bar cabinets in this swatch, but I just used right around the corner there on the other side of that wall, I used the bar cabinets from Jungle Adventure, which I think match pretty nicely. So there is a small little bar area, and those bar stools, which are super cool, they kind of look like drums. Those are from Island Living. So again, those two packs just blend really nicely. So now I'm just kind of cluttering up the kitchen and adding some various decor items, trying to keep everything pretty much neutral and stainless steel. And then here's that little area I was telling you about by the back door. So this is where I imagine just kids and family running in and out through here to grab towels. And I put some sunscreen there and robes. So it's just sort of a little, we're going out to the pool. Well, there is no pool. The ocean is their pool. So we're going out to swim. You're going to go out through there. And I also put a dog food dish by the door as well, because I kind of thought maybe this family might have a dog. Then here by the front door, there is another bathroom that's in between the entryway and the living room. So this is more of like a guest bath. So if you're having friends over, or you're having a cocktail party, dinner party, whatever, or just for the family when they're hanging out, watching movies or whatever, this would be just a general bathroom to use on the main floor. And I did put a potty seat in here and a high chair in the dining room, although you could easily pull those out if you don't have any toddlers in your family. In fact, I wasn't even really picturing any particular age for the kids. I just kind of tried to put a little bit of everything for toddlers, kids, and teens. But this could also very easily be used for all adults, because I didn't really overly do the kids' rooms in a lot of toys and stuff. Their rooms are very colorful, but they could easily be used for adults as well. So if you had 6 or 8 adult Sims that were looking for a big beach house, I think this would work. You would just have to remove a few items from the kids' rooms. I think one of the kids' rooms has a toy box, and one maybe has some like kids artwork, but other than that, it could very easily be used for adults. But anyway, this is the very humongous living room, which I just really wanted this room to be good for entertaining and enough space that the whole family, and even if they had friends over, they could all hang out in here together. So there's a huge big screen TV, there's a gaming system, and then there's a full-size bar for cocktail time, because if you're gonna be at the beach, I'm sure you're probably gonna want to have a cocktail or two. And then I also added some other things in here. There's a foosball table and one of the bubble blowers and a piano and a guitar. So I kind of just imagine like a multi-purpose living room, just full of all different kinds of activities and really nice views of the ocean as well. So it's just a gigantic room. As you can see, I was laying out all these different carpets, trying to figure out which one to use. I'm really kind of a little bit disappointed in the rugs that we got in this pack because they don't really make a lot of sense with the furniture. Like, I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but the furniture swatches and the rug swatches don't match at all. It's the most bizarre thing. Like, not even that they're not the same patterns, but they're not even the same tones. Like, the colors are totally different. Like, there's, like, for example, one of the couch swatches has like an orange, but it's more of almost like a sherbet, like a light orange. And then the only carpet they have with orange is like a bright fluorescent orange. And I'm not really sure what they were thinking with these swatches. I don't know. They just don't make any sense to me. So I just used a base game rug in here, and I thought it looked nice with the neutral tones. Again, like I said before, pretty much this whole first floor is done in neutral tones, which I guess for me feels very much like a beach house. I know in a lot of the other beach houses that I've built, if you've checked out my catalog listing in the gallery, I have actually several beach houses that I've done in like cats and dogs and stuff like that. So I tend to usually always go with light, bright interiors. It just seems to make the most sense to me when you're right on the water like this. But then because I love color so much, I had to kind of go a little bit crazy with all the colors in the bedrooms to get it out of my system because I just love using lots of bright colors. Yeah, so there's also, as you can see, a little stereo area next to the music area. So I kind of imagined like if the family maybe liked music, they would have this area where they could either listen to music or play music. With the guitar, piano, and I stuck a violin over here as well. So all the different musical instruments. I wish we had, it would be so cool if we had like a saxophone. That would be cool. Or I don't know, like I feel like we need more instruments. Maybe that's just because I'm a musician and I love instruments. And a drum set would be really cool. But yeah, so now I'm just kind of finishing up this room with some decor. I put some magazines and books down and stuff like that. And then I was adding some rugs. Having trouble, again, finding any rugs that I really liked, but these were okay, I think. At least they were neutral toned. Now I'm upstairs, and you can kind of see here that it's a very large second floor, 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. So that's why I was thinking this house would actually be really good as like a beach house for all adults because every bedroom has its own bathroom. So if you just wanted to take out a couple of the toys, it would be really easy to make this a big beach house for maybe like a bunch of young adults who all want to live on the beach together. That would be cool. So in each of these bedrooms, I went with a different color scheme. This bedroom has got a lot of aqua and kind of greenish blue aqua tones that I pulled out of the bedspread and rug, and then I had to just kind of mix it with some other things, like that mirror is from Vintage Glamour stuff. We didn't get a mirror in this pack, which is strange. Isn't this the first time that we haven't gotten at least, if usually there's either a standing mirror or a wall mirror or some kind of mirror. We didn't get a single mirror. I don't know, it was kind of strange. But luckily that Vintage Glamour one looked pretty good. And then I put a bookcase in here with a stereo and just like some books and decor type stuff. Again, not really thinking of any particular age of kid. I mean, really this room could be a teen, a kid, a young adult. It really wouldn't matter. That plant is in shadow. I don't know why, but it's kind of sad because it's actually a really beautiful plant, but it's one of those ones that like no matter where you put it, it just falls into darkness. I don't really know why, but I did use it. And then here is the bathroom, which the tile, basically I use this exact same tile for almost every bathroom. It is Jungle Adventure. And then the brick tiles on the walls are from the Fitness Stuff pack. I really like using these sort of like rough brick type slate tiles. I feel like that fits with like the tropical sort of vibe. And then the bedroom right next door, I went with a lot of bright orange in here, orange and blue. I really love these bedspreads. I just wish we had some rugs that would have coordinated a little bit better. This I think is passable. It's not really the same color scheme, but it blends okay. And the nightstand and the dresser are also from Island Living. And I've used a lot of candles throughout the house, in the bedrooms, either the candles that came with Island Living or the candles, those base game candles, which I think look really nice in here. This room also has a computer. Oh, I think I forgot to say that first aqua bedroom has a computer. This one also has a computer. I like using those skateboards. I think they kind of look like mini surfboards. That's another thing we didn't get. Where are the surfboards? We need surfboards. What we really need is the type that we could lean. Okay, you know how in like 2 patch updates back we got that leaning artwork? Okay, so I want one like that, but with a surfboard that leans against the wall. And then I would also like to have a surfboard that mounts on the wall like horizontally. I think that would be super cool. Or maybe like a surfboard rack. Ooh, that would be really cool, like a decor piece. I know we have a surfboard like that came as like a restaurant sign in this pack, which is pretty cool, but it doesn't really have any functional use in a home. So yeah, we need a surfboard. I'm putting my order in. I'm putting my order in for that. And then this bedroom also has its own bathroom. And here I did the same tile, but instead of the light colored plumbing, I went with the darker sort of orangey brown tone, which I think looks nice with the orange in the bedding. And then out in the hallway here is the third bedroom, which I went with a bright blue, kind of a sea blue in here. This is the room I was kind of thinking would be good for the toddler. I did not put a toddler bed in here, mainly just because I wanted to use the new bed. But if your family has a toddler, this is where I suggest that you put the toddler bed. So just swap that bed out. Actually, you could just put that bed into the family's storage for later, for once the toddler ages up. And I would just drop the toddler bed right in that spot. And I think this would be the perfect room. Or a baby's room, if you have a bassinet, could go in here. I think it's just because this room has so many windows and it has a really funky kind of cool bathroom that I really like it for a toddler or baby's room. And in here, I'm just putting a bunch of decor that's also in lots of shades of blue. There's just a few toys there and some Kleenexes and a light and a mirror. So yeah, pretty much just regular bedroom type stuff. Oh, I did put a toy box in this room too. That's probably also why I was thinking of a toddler. And I use those skateboards again. And then in their bathroom, it is the Parenthood tub and shower combo with the whales, which I had to use in this house because you're at the beach. You have to have the shower with the whales on it. So I think this bathroom is really adorable. I did blue curtains and then lots of blue accents with the robe and the rugs. And I did put a toddler potty seat in there in case your family has a toddler. Okay, so here's where I took a time jump. You can see I did a bunch of the outdoor furnishing. You can see I put a hot tub there, and there's like 3 different outdoor seating areas. There's one here right off at the second floor. Right in between the blue bedroom and the pink bedroom, there are double doors in that hallway that go out to the back. And then right by the stairs, there's another set of doors that goes out the front. So there's plenty of access points to get to the deck. This house has a lot of decking on the first floor and on the second floor, because I just imagined that they spend a lot of time outside and they really love their, the views and sitting outside and looking at the ocean. So yeah, lots of decks. This bedroom is all in pinks. Again, we don't have a rug that really goes with this living bed, but I used this one from the Backyard Stuff Pack, which I think it's from the Backyard Stuff Pack, isn't it? I think so. So I used that rug and I think it blends okay. It's not exactly the same shade of pink, but it's pretty close. And then they have kind of a bizarre shaped bathroom because it's on this end of the house where it's kind of like a pentagon shape. And so there's kind of like an angle there on this side of the bathroom that's sort of like dead space. You can't really do anything because it's such a tight corner. But I did put a like towel storage thing there to kind of make use of the space. And it's a good sized bathroom. It has a shower and a bathtub. And then I did this little vanity table from Jungle Adventure that I love. I was just talking about this in my last video. Anytime I have a big bathroom, which doesn't happen too often, but when it does, I always use that table because I love it. And it's just a perfect place to put like toothbrushes and soap and towels and all that kind of stuff. And so now I'm getting up to the third and final floor, which is the master suite. That is the only thing that's up here is just the master, and it's very large. It has like a sitting room inside the bedroom, and then of course a bathroom as well. I imagined that the parents would probably spend a lot of time up here relaxing and enjoying the view. They've really got probably the best view in the house because of the way the room is angled. Out one side they can see the beach, and out the other side they can see the ocean, and then they can see the mountains and the boats and everything. It's just like the perfect view. So I imagined, maybe you like to sit here and read or drink your coffee in the morning or whatever. So I put a couch and a couple of chairs and a coffee table and stuff. You could put a TV there too if you wanted to, right in that corner. I just kind of thought that the view was so good you wouldn't even want to watch TV. You would just want to sit there and look at the beautiful ocean. The colors up here are mostly black and white and gray with sort of a light brown wood. It's sort of neutral like the first floor, but I think the black couch and rug under the bed kind of does make the room pop a little bit. And then here's the master bathroom. So yeah, we're come to the end of the build. Let me know what you guys think, because I really almost didn't even share this house. I almost tore it down about 10 times. So please let me know what you think. If you think this house is okay, that will make me feel so much better. That'll make me feel so much better. So, so don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all my projects. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. My ID is ErikaBuilds. And over on the gallery, it is also ErikaBuilds. So I will see you guys next time, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.